GlobalCare has been getting a lot of inquiries about the visa retrogression, and we're here today in front of the office of Attorney Arvin Amatorio, GlobalCare's immigration attorney, to answer these questions. Please come and join us. Hello, nurses. My name is Malene Delphine. I'm the recruitment director for GlobalCare Services. I know one of the hottest and biggest topics right now is the visa retrogression. So, I'm here today with the Honorable Mayor of Bergenfield and our esteemed immigration expert and attorney, Attorney Arvin Amatorio, to discuss your concerns and ask questions on your behalf about the visa retrogression and how it will affect your American dream. Thank you for joining us today in this job fair, and we look forward to answering all your questions and concerns. So good morning, Attorney Amatorio. Thanks for giving us this time to address one of the biggest concerns that nurses, international nurses, have right now. It is the visa retrogression. Can you tell us what is retrogression?
Thank you, Malin, for dropping by at my office, and it's been an honor to work with you and your company and the thousands and thousands of nurses all throughout the whole world. So when you say retrogression, it only means that there are not enough visas available for the incoming immigrants. No, so there are more demand than the supply. So as we all know that the Department of State only issued a certain number of visas available worldwide. So when you reach a certain level of issuance of visas, nagre-retrogress na yan, no? So the Department of State, what they do is they stop accepting or processing application para hindi maubos, para hindi ma-delay ng sobra yung mga nag-apply. So yun yung tinatawag na retrogression. Pero it's not new, no? So don't worry about it. It's not new. It happened in the past. From time to time, pag masyadong marami yung applications, they stop processing until the number catch up. So by the way, every October of the year, they issue a new visa. So hopefully, and let's keep our fingers crossed, by October of 2023, mayroon na naman issuance na visa. So hopefully by October 1st, current na yung visa natin.
Attorney, based on your experience, how long does a retrogression last?
It really depends, no? Like this year, kung titingnan mo, nag-retrogress siya starting May 1st. And ang pinoprocess nila was June of 2022. So mayroong about a year of visa retrogression. In the past, mas malayo pa, no? Hindi natin napapansin, minsan 3 years yung retrogression, pero it doesn't mean that we will be waiting for 3 years. Kasi from every month, the National Visa Center issues the visa bulletin. For instance, hopefully by next week, mag-i-issue sila ng bagong visa bulletin for the month of June. So who knows, tumalon ng 3 months o ng 4 months, hindi by month, no? Or it's possible also na hindi gumalaw. So it's really hard to predict on the time it will last, no? So what we know is that every October when they issue a new visas, nagmo-move yung line. So you have to look at retrogression as falling in line, no? Parang pag pumasok ka sa isang restaurant, or if you want to go to an office that provides services, let's say the DMV, you take a number pagpasok mo. So then you are naka-queue ka sa line. So that's how it goes with the visa, with the issuance or the priority date. So gumagalaw yan, especially on October when they issue a new visas for the year's allocation in 2024. Gagalaw ng mabilis yung visa, yung priority date.
So, is the retrogression impacting the entire process or just part of the of the I-140 or yung visa application process? Saan po ba magkakaroon ng delay because of the retrogression?
Uh, the truth is, when we say retrogression, as if the whole world, is falling apart, no? But that's not. It's not that bad, no? Especially on the part of the intending immigrants, lalo na yung mga bagong nag-a-apply pa lang. Um, so that you would understand the entire process. I'll start, with how the visas are issued, no. The first step is the filing the petition, no, yung I-140. Once you file the I-140 petition, you obtain your priority date. So yung receipt number mo, yung receipt date becomes your priority date. Example, your employer files a petition on behalf of Maria de la Cruz, right? And the USCIS receives the application today. So today is your priority date. May 9th is your priority date. So that's your number in the line. So walang pagbabago yan. Retrogression doesn't affect your line, no, because that's your priority date. So ipaprocess ng USCIS yan once the visas are approved, na-approve na yung petition mo, then the USCIS sends your petition, your application packet to the Department of State, and then the Department of State will send it to the country where the applicant resides. Now, for instance, if you're in the Philippines, your whole packet will be sent to the Philippines. So, yun, doon ipoprocess nila, no? So, ngayon, if your petition is your petition was received on May 9, 2023, yun ang priority date mo. So, assuming that your petition has been pending for like 8 months already, right? And it was approved on the 8th month. So, doon pa lang magiging relevant yung priority date, yung retrogression, kasi you will not receive your visa when you are scheduled for interview, or you will not be scheduled for interview unless there is an available visa available at that time. So, kung magpa-file ka ng petition ngayon at may retrogression ngayong May 1st, it's not going to affect you. It's going to affect those petitions that were filed way back in say June 5th of 2022. So yun lang yung apektado, kasi instead of them being scheduled for interview, hindi sila ma-schedule kasi hindi available yung pag-issue ng visa sa kanila. So that's the only impact to it. But right now, walang impact sa mga bagong aplikante. However, let me for purposes of those people that are here in the United States, I want to clarify that relevant yan kung may simultaneous adjustment application ka. So if you're an applicant and you are in the United States, because the visas are not current, you will not be able to file your adjustment of status o yung green card application mo, yung I-485, kasi hindi available yung visa. So yun ang impact sa'yo. So now, kung nandito ka sa United States on a tourist visa, you have to make sure that you will be maintaining your status or you are lawfully present. Otherwise, kung hinintay mo yung mag-current yung visa at nag-exceed ka ng allowable stay mo, you may not be eligible or you may not be entitled to adjust status. Hindi approvable yon kasi nag-accrue ka ng unlawful presence or out of status ka na, yung tinatawag natin. So, kung naka-tourist visa ka dito sa United States, you should be able to extend it, or kung you are on a student's visa, you make sure that you maintain your current status as a student. Otherwise, kung I-140 lang at wala kang I-485 because the visas are not current, then you have to return back to your country of origin.
So, attorney, what does retrogression mean for nurses who have dependents turning 21 years old? So, let's say yung nurses have already been filed and have approved I-140, is what end have not yet been scheduled for a consular interview. Anong effect po nito sa mga magti-21 years old?
That's the, that's the tricky one. That's the tricky one, mali, no? So kasi we all know that when the when the dependent turns 21, ma-age out siya, no? She will not become a dependent anymore of the intending immigrant. However, mayroon tayong tinatawag na Child Status Protection Act. That means that when you file a petition, say a parent files a petition at meron siyang dependent na minor, pwede pa siyang mag-immigrate kahit mag-over siya ng 21 if she will be considered by law as child. That's why we call it the Child Status Protection Act. So there is a certain computation that you have to do, no? For instance, you have to compute the pendency of your petition. For instance, you file an I-140 and naging pending siya ng 1 year, right? So by the time na-approve yung petition at nag-birthday yung anak mo, ima-minus mo yung pendency ng petition. Because when you file the when say for instance I'm the parent, when I filed the petition, my child was still a minor at that time, kaya lang nag-age out siya ng 6 months, right? Nag-current, then she was supposed to be interviewed, and then 21 years old and 6 months na siya, no? By the time the interview was scheduled. So pero pending yung petition ng 1 year, so i-menos mo yung 1 year doon sa 21 years old. So as far as the law is concerned, hindi pa siya 21 kasi maybe 20 years old and 6 months pa lang siya, or magte-21 pa lang kasi nag-minus natin. So there are certain computation that we have to diligently do to be able to find out whether the child would still be considered under the Child Status Protection Act.
So, for nurses who do not have priority dates, meaning hindi pa po sila na ifa-file, and they have children approaching 21, what do you recommend them? Do you still recommend them to file right away, or ano pong ma-advise nyo sa kanila?
I've always been advising my clients, that since priority date is a first come first served basis, it's always a great idea to file right away, and get into the line right away. There's no downside, when you file a petition and let's say right now there is retrogression. Some people will say, you know what, there's retrogression. I'll just wait until it becomes current. But you don't know when it will become current, right? Like what I've said. So my suggestion is get into the line right away, or fall in line right away. Get your number, because you don't know. Maybe in 6 months' time, it becomes current, or maybe tomorrow it becomes current, or maybe let's say in 3 months' time we will be processing those who filed 3 months ago. So it's always a great idea to get into the line right away and file your petition para nauna ka sa linya. No, and what is the downside? There's no downside, especially with your kids. So kung matagal nagpending yung petition, lalo na ngayong retrogression, so it will work favorably for your children, whom might not be able to immigrate because of their age.
So, Attorney, may mga nurses na concern na because of the retrogression, employers might withdraw their offers or job offers. Is this a possibility, or how do you feel employers should treat or should move forward with this retrogression?
Well, I think there's no perfect answer for that question, Malin. No, it really depends on what kind of employer you're choosing. It's true. It happened in the past that some employers would abandon or withdraw their petitions because of retrogression. However, it's not ano, it should not affect their petition, because as I've said, especially those who are recruiting medical professionals, especially nurses, the prospect of shortage is there. So it's not gonna get better anytime soon. So uh, by withdrawing their application or abandoning their petitions, it will not help their recruitment strategy. So uh, uh, in your case, in your case, Malin, I've known you for quite some time. Um, it's not, you're not going to do that, and you are committed to your nurses. I think you have to choose the right employer for this, no? Those who are really committed to help you out with your immigration petition, and achieve your American dream, no? And immigrate here in the United States with you alone or with your family. So I think this should not deter employers from recruiting, no, and getting more nurses. As a matter of fact, I've told my clients, especially global, that this is the time for you to aggressively recruit and fall in line, because the lines are getting longer. So it's an opportunity for you to file your petition. It's like dump it into the system, and let it sit there. By the time the visas are current, then you'll have, you'll think yourselves that it's good that I filed these numbers of nurses. Now I'm reaping the benefits, other than just sitting and filing when visas are current, because it's not gonna fast track the USCIS petition. It's not. You still have to process it for 6 months to 8 months. So it's not going to address the dependency of the processing itself. It will only it's only relevant when they are being interviewed at the U.S. Embassy.
So when you talk about the process, attorney, taking 6 to 8 months, in this age of visa retrogression, do you still suggest for employers to file via premium processing, or is the premium processing going to make a difference?
Well, I know a lot of companies are doing regular process, and some companies like you invest in
Yes.
premium processing, and I applaud you for doing that, because sometimes applications gives a lot of uncertainties to applicants, no? So I'm confident now, whether you file under premium processing or whether you file it on a regular process, I could say, and I'm proud of you guys, that maybe 99.9% of your petitions are approved. So whether it's premium or regular. However, what I think you do best is you remove those uncertainties with your clients, no, with your employees, that once they file their petition, their waiting time is very short. They know that their petitions are approved. It's just a matter of time of when will they immigrate. So that's a great relief, no, on the part of the applicants, na approved na yung petition ko, hinihintay ko na lang yung priority date. So once it becomes current, then my interview will be scheduled, and I will immigrate to the United States. I want to clarify that the retrogression applies to the final action. So if you look at the visa bulletin, dalawa yung tinatawag natin dyan na priority date. One is the final action. It is the date where the National Visa Center actually issues the visa, no? Yun yung talagang let's say June of 2022. If your petition is earlier than June 1st of 2022, you can be interviewed and give you the visas, right? But right now, if you look at the visa bulletin, there is what you call the filing, the filing of petitions priority date, which is May 1st of 2023. So you'll be confused. Bakit ganon? Bakit current yung filing, pero yung final action hindi? Kasi like what I was saying, it only impacts the issuance of the visa. But neither the USCIS or the National Visa Center stops processing your paper. So kung nag-file ka ng petition kahapon, ipaprocess nila yan. Or if they receive your petition with a date of May 1st, 2023, say ng USCIS, of course, it's not gonna happen, right? Na pag nag-file ka sa USCIS kahapon ma-approve same day and ibibigay nila sa National Visa Center. But it only shows that they don't stop processing your petitions. So they keep working on your petitions until the time that the visas are current, that you get your interview. So you don't waste time. No, just okay, current na yung visa ko, ipaprocess na nila. It doesn't work like that. Before, mind you, a few years back, ganun po sila. Wala po filing action date. Kahit noon isa lang ang visa bulletin. Mabuti nga ganun na ngayon, dalawa, right? So but if you are adjusting status, isa lang yung priority date, yung final action lang kasi pag nag-a-adjust ka, doon pa lang sa filing mo ng I-140, kung current yung visa, you can simultaneously apply or file your adjustment of status. So, if you're outside of the United States, that second priority date is relevant and applicable.
Do nurses currently residing in other countries like UK, Ireland, Australia, how will the retrogression affect them, or is it like the same worldwide, whether you are in the Philippines or abroad?
It is the same worldwide, no? But you have to focus on which country they're coming from. So if they're like you mentioned, UK, Philippines, Taiwan,
Ireland,
Korea, they either belong to the chargeability, the general chargeability. They separate the priority date of the Philippines, but these days halos kapareho nung general chargeability. But if you're coming from India or China and sometimes Mexico, it's a different story because the lines are longer from those countries. So fortunately, the Philippines is still the same with other countries of chargeability, like say in Asia, Taiwan, Korea, Vietnam, and say in Europe, UK. So it's the same priority date for these countries.
So, attorney, in cases where the Philippines may not have the same current or priority date as the general chargeability, and they are married to a foreign national,
Right.
so can they use that for their petition to go about this retrogression?
Unfortunately, no, because the priority date is based on your country of birth as a general rule.
Okay.
So if you were born in the Philippines, your chargeability is the Philippines, and then you say immigrate to the United Kingdom and became a nurse there,
Yeah.
and obtained your UK citizenship or your British citizenship, and you wanted to immigrate to the United States, your chargeability is still the Philippines, not your country of citizenship. So yun yung general rule dyan, no? The only time that your birth is not your chargeability is of course when, say for instance you are a children of diplomats, that you were born, for instance, in Saudi Arabia, but then you are a parent, but your parents are both Filipinos. So your chargeability is Filipinos having a Filipino parents, not Saudi, Saudi citizen. Okay, so those are the only exception. But as a general rule, I mentioned is the birth of your birth of place is your chargeability.
Attorney, if I'm a new nurse and I just passed my NCLEX, I don't have an agency yet, what would you advise me to do at this point?
So again, I want to go back to, I couldn't emphasize enough that getting into the line is the best thing that you should do right now. No? And getting into the line means getting your employer. So your employer, for instance, in your case, Malin, no, you've been doing this for a long time, helping the new nurses immigrating the United States is something that that you need guidance to, no. So so if you have an agency, or if you have an employer that wants to petition you, do it right away. Do not delay your application just because there is retrogression. If you have to take the NCLEX, if you have to take IELTS or TOEFL or whatever examination you need to do to immigrate to the United States, don't delay it, because I can see that the retrogression will will ease up once the October visa bulletin is issued. So don't wait for October. Get into the line, get help from professionals or from the employer that you trust, and file your petition.
So I currently have a petition in process. I'm panicking and I'm concerned that the visa retrogression will delay or diminish all my American dream. What can you say to me, attorney, to reassure me?
I would say, don't worry. Okay, don't worry. Your queue will come. No, that it doesn't mean that there is retrogression, that all your efforts and all your dreams will wash away. As I've said, once the new visa bulletin is issued in October, it will go back to normalcy. Right now, just continue the process. Wait for if you file a petition and there are documents that are lacking and that you need to produce it right away. Maybe this is the right time for you to gather all the documents that you need to submit and submit it. Now, if your petition is approved, you're good. You just wait for your queue, and it will come. It's not going to be longer. It's coming soon. So wag kayong mag-alala, just relax, enjoy, but wag muna kayong magbenta ng we always tell the employees or our clients, don't sell your things or don't abandon your whatever your obligation. You will have enough time to do those things. Once you receive your interview date, then that's the time for you to think of disposing of or settling those things that you think will be difficult to or takes longer to settle. Other than that, you will have time to do that. So wag kayong mainip, don't be disturbed. Time will come that you will have your chance to go to the US Embassy, get interviewed, and you will be supported by, for instance, your employer, the Global Cares, and then you will immigrate to the United States. And I'm certain of that. So wag kayong mag-alala. If you have questions, by the way, you can always ask them. You can always ask our law firm if we're the ones that are handling your applications. We will be here anytime. You can send us email or you can call us. But the least that you would do is to worry. So don't do that. Don't do that. Just wait for your turn.
So, attorney, do I still have to pay my dependent's visa fee bill even if there is a retrogression?
Yes, Malin. As I've said, nothing has changed. As I was emphasizing, the process has not changed as a result of retrogression. So if you are required to submit DS-260, or if you are required or if you are asked by the National Visa Center to submit, say for instance, NVI clearance or additional documents, please do so. Because once you have completed your documentation, you will be queued for interview. So the worst thing that you will do is you are already in the documentation process through the National Visa Center, and you have this belief or attitude that, you know what, I'm not gonna do it because it's retrogression anyway. So do not procrastinate, because by the time that visas become current and you say, you know what, I will submit my documents, you cause the delay, not the National Visa Center or not the embassy. So they will not certify your documents to be completed, and you will not get your queue to be interviewed unless you completed your documents. So please complete your documentation, submit your DS-260 forms and complete it online, because you can do it online, and make sure that you are document certified ready, so that you will get your line for an interview once the visas are current.
So, attorney, I have a pending application, and I also have a tourist visa. So, I'm planning to go to the US, and it's retrogression. So, can I adjust status when I go to the US? Is that something you would recommend?
Okay, again, let's say there right now currently we have retrogression. If you travel to the United States and you think you will consume your 6 months allowable period, you should have an alternative to extend your tourist visa, if you, assuming that you decide to stay in the United States for longer than 6 months, or if you don't want to come back anymore, or if you don't want to go back to your country of origin. Let me just remind you, and be very careful about this, be very cautious about it. If you have a pending petition, especially if it's approved already, and you are entering the United States using your visitor's visa, please do not make things or do not bring things that the immigration officer or the border patrol will have a suspicion that you have no intention of returning back to your country of origin, because you will be denied admission. So for instance, I'll give you an example, and this happened to my client. So it's not just hypothetical, it's an actual case. So he has an approved petition, and visas are current at that time. So he didn't want to wait for his visa, and he doesn't want to wait for embassy interview. So he used his tourist visa to enter the United States. But in his luggage, he brought different documentations, transcript of records, not on a CD, okay, on a paper. So may packet yan dala, no, na as if he would be applying for employment. So nung binuksan yung bag niya, I mean, he was randomly checked by the border patrol. They've seen there that it looks like he has the intention to look for a job in the United States. So he was denied admission. So ang tawag namin doon yung port to port, no? So it becomes parang deportation yan, and he is barred to enter the United States for 10 years.
Oh, so nawala na po yung I-140?
Nawala yung I-140 niya kasi bar siya to enter. Kasi yun ang expedited deportation ng nangyari sa kanya. So don't do that. Even if you have the intention to do that, but please don't show it. You know, you cannot be traveling with 5 luggages, and what's your purpose of visit the United States? I want to visit the United States, but you have 5 luggages, or you know, it's as if you're not coming back. And then when they open the luggage, then it shows that you have tons of things there that shows that you intend to work for a job. So so remember, even if you have a visa, they are the immigration officer, they are entitled to deny your admission, because every time you enter the United States, you are seeking admission. So please don't do that, because it will be detrimental to your case. However, going back to to Malin's question, can I come to the United States with a tourist visa? Yes. Can I adjust in the United States? Assuming the visas are current, by the time you are here, yes, you can adjust your status. And instead of going back to the embassy to be interviewed, you can adjust your status if the visa is current. If the visas are not current, you cannot accrue unlawful presence, or you cannot violate your status, or you cannot be out of status, because you will throw out your chance of immigrating.